What is up, everyone? I don't know what the heck just happened, but technical difficulties, it's all good. The song does slap. Thank you, Boop. You know what? Let's take this overlay off real quick. I just got off work like 20 minutes ago, or I just got home 20 minutes ago, guys. So you were dealing with basically heat stroke Jerry today. But before we go any further, I'm doing it all from a man, Jeffrey Bezos, so he can go back to space in another giant dick. It's fine. It'll be fine. Send all the dicks to space. That's what I say. Before we go any further, I am going to crack open a cold one with you guys, and I'm going to bring on the amazing, the talented, the wonderful, the always one of my favorites, Arezou Amin. Arezou is my guest, not Jared the Dark Jedi.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm not Jared.
No, I'm so sorry about that.
That was funny.
I tried, I don't know why there's like so many videos I have. Like, I thought I downloaded the right one at the right time. It's never the right one at the right time. And I think you, above all people, know that.
Yes,
and stuff. So.
I do. Sometimes I deliberately program in the wrong thing, but that's to mess with somebody else. So I know how it is.
Well, and hey, it is what it is. We had the lovely. I'm glad I put up the overlay because it had Arzou's lovely countenance on it. But not
my fresh haircut, my Boba Fett shirt. You know how it is.
We love. Hey, you know how it is. We love Jared, but he's not on the show this week. It's Arezou. So thank you guys again in the chat for thank you. First of all, thank you Arezou for being so flexible on the time and everything. Again, when you're out there in the package mines, just mining packages for Jeff. There's just I don't know. I'm gonna make a lot of Jeffrey Bezos references tonight probably, and we can it's fine. I'm sure I won't get fired. Maybe we'll see. Anyway. So, how are you doing tonight, Arezou? What have you been up to in your life recently?
Recently? Not a whole lot, because I'm still home most of the time. But
right,
not to pivot this so hard directly into stuff, but this is what I was doing while I was waiting.
Let's pivot.
I was reading.
Let's pivot. Hell yeah! Oh my gosh,
that's why I'm like, whenever, because I got this.
Right, you're like more reading time. Fine, Jerry, you can be like 5 hours late. I don't care. No, I don't know if you can't really see it from here because it's so dark back there. But those are I've got
Rising Storm, Light of the Jedi, and Into the Dark.
Oh my gosh, that was a sight test, and you passed. I must, sometimes I administer those sometimes, apparently. So, no,
I'll pass the results to my eye doctor.
Thank you. I'm very impressed, actually. But yeah, see, this is Hyperfocus. It can be about Star Wars if we wanted to. It doesn't have to be about Star Wars. It can be about whatever you want. What I've been telling my guests so far is no pressure, but you program the show. It's just like and basically it's Bombadcast, but with just more strict conversation. We're having just a conversation and stuff. Right. But if you want to jump into the High Republic,
that's just what I was doing today, so that's why I brought it up. I just smacked my own headphones, but
that was impressive. I was like, whoa, where'd those come from? I will say, I don't get to talk about the High Republic that much with like Scotty or anybody. They're like, you saw me in Scotty's little, WWE style thing,
Thrawn thing.
That the Marchion. Are you going to change to Marchion because Charles Soule said so, or
okay?
Let's talk about that first.
The discourse of the week. So I was saying Marchion, and I thought, okay, that's what Charles Soule said, so that's what I'm going with. And then the audiobook says Marchion, and the video that they put out said Marchion. And I'm like, okay, Charles Soule is wrong. The man who created the character, I decided he is wrong. So I got so used to Marchion now that I'm having a hard time switching back.
Right.
So
Well,
I don't know. Maybe I'll use it interchangeably.
possibly. Just real quick. Yes, Boopenheim. Yes, Scotty is a heel, and he is going to go down because Markion, however you say it, is a better. I think a better protect. I like him better personally. That was my whole tweet. That big tweet that I had explode was I like Markion better than Thrawn, at least at that point. You know, like he's a more interesting villain to me right now. I love Thrawn. I still do for what he is. But I'm not like I was calling Scotty a Thrawn bro and stuff, you know, like, you know, oh bro, Thrawn's the best, bro, you know, like whatever.
Thrawn, I've never heard that before.
You know, what I will say is Kristen Baver actually commented on that tweet thread and stuff about when I posted like, oh, it shatters my entire universe, and said, hey, people say Leia, and, you know,
True.
Han and Han all the times.
True.
So I'm like, I think what I said to her was, well, now I'm really interested to hear how Lando Calrissian says Markion. Like, what does he say? Is he Maraschino or something? You know, it could be an interchangeable thing, but the great, what is his name? Oh my goodness, Captain Ehud. I can only remember his name.
Oh,
his
Mark
Twitter handle. Mark Thompson, the great. Only like when he reads. Do you do the audiobooks and stuff? As well?
No, I listened to a little bit of Light of the Jedi because I wanted to hear what Martian sounded like.
Yeah.
And
was it not what you had in mind?
No, it wasn't, because Mark Thompson makes him sound a lot younger than I thought.
Really?
He sounds.
I kind of like that youth a little bit myself.
He in my head,
yeah,
is like 30, early 30s, but Mark Thompson makes him sound like early 20s. So he's about a decade younger in the audiobook than he is in my head. So I'm like, he's too young.
Okay, I get that's all good.
That's my thing.
Good. Well, listen. Hey, here's hope though. Listen to me. I'm 34, and I sound like I'm 12. So you know, I mean, it could be. I'm sorry.
It's the in here thing.
I get you. I get it.
It just makes him sound like.
Right. I liked, I don't know. I kind of like to me, it feels like a quiet intensity. I like the quiet intensity he gives him, where it's like this guy, you don't know if he's going to snap. Not like he's crazy, but just like that's how ruthless he is. They're like, but he can stay so calm. Like he's got ice in his veins. And you know, so I enjoyed that. Early on cast Rami Malek in the part just because of the voice, because I thought he could do a good that or whatever. That's a terrible version of it and everything, and I see why you hate it now. But I don't know.
He's okay. From the beginning, I maintained, I'm like, Marchion Ro, if I had to fan cast him, I would fan cast Henry Cavill. And everyone's like, this is just because you think Marchion Ro's hot. I'm like, true, but I'm just going to go with it. So,
that's a valid reason.
You know, like tall, the arms. I'm like, I'm going with it. It's Henry Cavill. And then in the comic, we got the face reveal. I'm like, I am clearly not the only one who was thinking along the Superman line. Right.
You're absolutely right. And when I finally got to that comic and everything too, and I read it, I was like, okay, I can see it. I was just, honestly, it was the Mark Thompson, you know, really intense voice that made me, I'm like, ooh, I could see like, he could play still very sultry, but also very like, you know, off like not unhinged, but you know what I mean. Offbeat. You know what I'm trying to say, like offbeat, like just like, I mean, ice in the veins, ready to kill, like murderous. I could kill you in a second if I wanted to, kind of a thing.
But it's cool how much like audiobooks inform how you read it, because it's not just you alone anymore. Right. Like it is when you're like looking at the page. So and I mean, I do audiobooks because I mean, for one thing, I like how it's got the sound design and everything in it as well. But that's the best way for me, you know, being like, you know, like on the job, doing whatever, like listening through those things instead of like having to find time and sit down and read
Also ADHD, which is fine. It's whatever. It absorbs better. I rewind those things so many times. But I tell you, these were the first books that I was like, I have to have these now. And this was just this year. I went, why don't I have Light of the Jedi? Why don't I have Into the Dark? Why don't I have look? I want to collect all of them now, because there's so much good like prose in there, and there's so much like the things that we think of the Jedi, like the way that the Jedi were described, that they should be. And you could think what you will about the Jedi. These are the most Jedi that we've ever gotten.
These are the
I think
best Jedi.
It's so much like you see the 10 the 10 characters going around, the top 10 characters.
Yeah.
It's hard to not just put all Jedi, and you can't even name all of them. Still,
I think most of mine are Jedi.
Characters.
I have
really?
I have Marchion on there. I have Lorna on there, and I have Nan on there. But the other 7, actually, no, I don't have Nan on there. Nan is a bonus, but Nan was like my bonus. But
most people put Belle and Ember together, which is like
I put Belle, Keeve, Nan, Reef, and Comac as like my bonus, like my next 5. But I think other than Marchion and Lorna, everybody else on that top 10 is a Jedi. Because
it's amazing what they've done to go to it. And I mean, I guess it's okay. Let me defer to you. You're actually a writer, okay? Do you think it would be? Is it easy to go into a new era and create all these amazing characters, or I don't know? Could it have? I think it could have gone 50-50. To me, it's amazing they made so many characters that so many people attach to, even side characters. I put a random. It's not even a side character. I put like just a character that's essentially just like a
rock.
Well, I mean, Geode is a side character, but I put Dennis, who is one of the dudes who Belle saves from I effing love Dennis, because there's one moment, the way that it's read too. I think it may like maybe if I was reading it, it would have been more like dire. It was dire, but there was the actual levity too of Dennis being like, "I'm okay, I'm fine."
It comes across. It comes
things
across
like that
written too.
Right. Well, and I mean that's just.
Des Ryden is one of mine, and Des Ryden's only there for 5 minutes. So.
Right. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Like it's amazing to me that they've created so many characters that are like just stuck in my brain and everything. Like I'm constantly thinking about, well, what's this character up to? What's this character? And I mean, I missed my girl Avar in Rising Storm,
in the comics.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm loving the way they're going now, where we all started Light of the Jedi. Now we're kind of branching off and everything. But I think I'm just babbling at this point because I love it.
You're excited. I like it. I'm sitting here going, yes, of course. Like I wrote.
Yes,
this.
Jerry. Yes.
Nothing going. Tell me more. Like yes, but like I didn't write this.
Well, I mean, in your
I'm taking credit for it.
That's okay. It's good stuff, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. So do you? I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think that this is quite a feat that they've achieved, or do you think you're an actual amazing writer? So go for it.
So I think it's an incredible feat. First of all, just because I'm very invested. But I was telling Hope, our friend Hope, that what I really like about the High Republic is if you file the Star Wars serial numbers off, it is still very engaging science fiction. Like there are some Star Wars things that I think we're invested in because it has that Star Wars label on it, but without that, there isn't much there. Like it happens sometimes in this franchise this big, but this holds up very well on its own as like an expansive golden age, like what they're calling like this Camelot era science fiction. So on that alone, it holds up very well. I also think it's an incredible feat because it is very difficult to take a brand new era that nobody has any sort of attachment to. We don't have anything familiar other than a couple of big concepts. And then to make us care this much about so many different characters, is incredibly difficult. And I think it speaks to the skill of the writers involved that none of them miss. Like the 5 writers, no misses in anything they've written. So Like, you can't say that about any other series, about any other era. Like, the High Republic does not miss. So
it refuses to quit, as Michael Scott would say, and I'm sorry, I'll like right off the bat that I've actually quoted Michael Scott now and stuff. But that's why I'm so like I'm bugging. Okay, well, these are all mutual friends of ours.
Yeah.
Me and Nick and Pete and Scotty have a little texting group. We have a little boys club, whatever. And I am trying to get those old mother effers and Scotty, he's just old at heart, on this stuff. I mean, Scotty's a busy man and all that stuff, but I just delivered, packages for 1,500 hours today. So what's his excuse? But I am like, I posted a few things last night because I want more people to get on this, because I think some people are already overwhelmed, and I'm like, it's not too far. And honestly, I would even say you could read probably just like Light of the Jedi, go to Rising Storm if you wanted to. I would almost do Into the Dark in between, frankly. What would you suggest for that?
So I went into this thinking I wasn't going to read the comics, and then I'm like, I'm just not going to read the comics.
Right.
Then stuff started happening in the comics. I'm like, okay, I got to catch up on the comics. So my
was the same way.
Ideal scenario is read absolutely everything. If you can't get your hands on comics like week to week, or however, you know what I mean. If you can't manage that, that's fine. But like, don't skip the books. Don't skip any of the books. If you absolutely have to skip the books,
right?
Like the middle grade books are excellent. They are some of the best character work, particularly for the teenage characters. Like, they really kind of, like, kids acting like kids is something that should happen a lot, and it doesn't always happen in Star Wars. But the kids in these books, especially in the middle grade, act like kids. So those are also excellent. But if you're looking for like the barest bones High Republic experience, Light of the Jedi, Into the Dark, Rising Storm, Out of the Shadows.
Right. Okay.
Because like
I was gonna say, Out of the Shadows comes out tomorrow, right?
Yes, it is out tomorrow.
Okay.
But my plug, like I wrote this.
Ready.
My plug
So ready.
for Out of the Shadows.
My book comes out tomorrow. Arezou, when does your book come out? Yeah, I know.
Right here. No. My bookstore decided that street dates aren't a thing, so whenever they have it, they just send it to me. But but yeah, no, my recommendation is all of it in release order, because they do affect each other. Even if like I guess if you go like from Light of the Jedi to Rising Storm, or Into the Dark to Out of the Shadows, like you won't have any trouble following, because they will catch you up on who the characters are that weren't in like the preceding book, and that's where the plot lines follow through. But ultimately, like, it is one big story. So if you have the time and the inclination, all of it.
Yeah. I mean, get the audiobook, just play it when you're running errands. It's fine. I mean, just do whittle a little bit at a time. Or if you like to read, or like go to the beach and grab one of these books.
And the thing is, if you have a fave, like a favorite character like Marciano, they're not only in like one stream, like the adult stream or the YA stream, like they kind of hop in all over. Vernestra Rose, another good example. She starts
she's in everything.
Like A Test of Courage, which is middle grade, and she's in The Rising Storm, which is adult, and then she's in Out of the Shadows, which is young adult. So Vernestra's all over the place. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to peer pressure.
You don't have to go to the beach. Just go to your local library. There you go. Yeah. So no, we're not pressuring or anything, but I mean, it's. I hope that the excitement is palpable on me and Arezou both, because like you said, the characters kind of hop throughout, and it's getting so interesting. It's getting very interesting, because, and to me, it's making the prequels more interesting. It's making the Phantom Menace more. I already liked the Phantom Menace, but it's making it more interesting, seeing where the Jedi are there versus where they were just 200 years before.
Right.
I mean, we are seeing why they're so bummer. Why they're a bunch of bummers.
It's like when you watch, I assume, the originals or the sequel trilogy with the knowledge of the prequel trilogy, so you know how all that affects it, but those will still
Right.
follow back to back to back. But this is sort of, you've seen the prequel trilogy, you know what happens to the Jedi, and now you've got 200, 250, whatever years before, where you're like, well, how do we get from this to this? And we're going to watch that happen over the next few years.
It's
slowly and painfully.
Slowly and painfully. Ending with the acolyte, right? Like that's kind of the lead
question
up.
I got. Like, the acolyte is close enough to the Phantom Menace that I think that's like the end of the High Republic era.
I looked up, what was it? I forget what what site it was on. I looked up from December of last year, and they were calling it the end of the High Republic. That's towards the end, back when they were, pitching everything. I mean, I'm excited to get to it, but also like I'm gonna be like worried about my, all my favorites and stuff, like what's going on.
It's
like, where's Buryaga?
Well, I mean, Wikis live forever. Where is Buryaga?
Where is Buryaga? That's what I want to know. That's the people want to know. Yes.
Is everybody okay? No, they won't be. But
no, there's going to be some bad stuff happen, especially with what we got. I don't know if we want to do too many spoilers. We got how many people in the chat do we have that haven't read any of this? And do you like spoilers?
Let us know before.
Yes. We don't want to get too far into. I mean, I don't think we've gotten far.
Wait,
too
Boop
far
hasn't read any of it.
What's that?
Boop hasn't read any of it.
Oh, Boop hasn't read any of it. Well, yeah, looks like you need to go do your homework, Boop.
No, so let's not spoil it.
Let's not. No, we won't. But
listen, it's getting dark.
They just did the whole pitch. They just did the whole reveal at Comic-Con, right?
Yeah.
Was it the San Diego Comic-Con? What? I think I went to a training day for work, not the movie, like an actual day of training at work. And I came back and was very pleasantly surprised that we were getting like we got the title of the next big adult. They're all good. Like, even like, no, I will say Race to Crash Point Tower hasn't been my favorite. I'll admit that, but I loved Ram Jamaram, and the Braun Brax and all the characters and everything in there. It was
also cool because it brought Lula and Marine over
from the
IDW comics into the books. So if you haven't read the IDW, you still get to experience Lula and Marine. And I love Lula, so I'm glad she made it into the books.
Lula is fantastic. I mean, they're doing such a good job. Like, I just read the new issue with Frizala and Court.
Yeah.
With the crew of the vessel, and Geode was there. Geode had a whole quote unquote action sequence. I love when
Geode just shows up.
I love it. They were
there.
Like, when did this rock get here? Like, I love it so much. I love that they don't show it. It's a little Marvel, but it's also it fits to me. Like, it's just because I've always said, like, people are like, when people say, there's too much Marvel humor in Star Wars now, it's just, to me, it's just Star Wars has always had humor. Me and Scotty did an episode about it. I won't get into it, but it's just like, basically, that's Marvel humor is a little modern humor. Like, if you're gonna put humor and levity in your sci-fi action thriller or whatever you're making and stuff, a summer blockbuster, it's gonna be almost that style of humor, like almost self-referential and things like that. So
I think it works, especially like for a concept as outlandish as Geode. Like, it works.
It's so, and I love, I also love, I mean, I hate it because I don't want people to get angry and go online and harass people, but I love how angry it made the people who, are dumb and don't even read the books, just like listened to one guy talk about there's a sentient rock. And then they're all like, oh, Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, there's like how many sentient rocks in the old stuff and everything? Like, there's so much weird stuff.
It's so ridiculous when you remove yourself from it.
Yes.
I love it clearly, very dearly. but it's all very stupid.
It's very
true. If you
true,
boil
Brian.
it down to its essential parts. So there's nothing that's not ridiculous.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Okay, that was maybe a little harsh. It's not all stupid, but there are. Every bit of Star Wars has something stupid in it.
It's silly.
Stupid, yes, like along the level of like a sentient rock. I don't mean to like critique the quality. Like
No.
Like the fact that the wisest Jedi Master Luke could find to train him is a little frog.
It's a fairy tale.
Silly.
It's a fairy tale in space. It's the little frog who teaches you. Yeah, it's
there is a
the whole
frog
thing.
teaching Luke how to lift rocks. Like
Right.
But it's sci-fi. It works. We suspend our disbelief and we go with it because it's fantasy.
Exactly. Now, I think Brian did make a good point here. I think the introduction of Geode was so good because Claudia's one of my favorite writers.
Same.
Of new Star Wars. She just to me she just gets it. Like no one. I mean, they're all good. Everyone who's writing Star Wars now writes good stuff, but Claudia to me just has a little extra something that just really speaks to me. I don't know. It feels like I'm watching a movie when I'm reading her stuff. And I don't know if she created the character, right? Like she created it herself. Because I'm trying to remember, there wasn't like a geode, there wasn't sentient rock written on that board that had dinosaurs and different things on it.
Not that I know of, but yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you like? They're all very talented writers. I mean, but there's something about Claudia Gray starting it to me that just is really special, and it just I don't know. She just really hit it out of the park.
I think they were all put for their first project. They were all put where their strength is. Because Charles Soule's like known for the comics, the big action stuff, so you give him the big action book. Calvin Scott had the Duke of Jedi Lost thing, so he had the sort of Jedi adventure, so you give him the Marvel comic. Daniel Jose Older is like the like offbeat, the comedic, the like quite literally tears rolling down your face laughing, so you give him the comic for kids. Like for younger readers, because if anybody's going to pull them in, it's Daniel. Justina does the character stuff, like in her own work outside of Star Wars. So you give her the book that is purely about 4 characters stuck in one place. And then Claudia, with her strength being in YA, because Lost Stars, like, come on. So you give her Into the Dark.
Still
to set
one of
up
the best.
The YA, the like teenage angst, the teenage like romance, like, you know, Reeth and Nan and that pining. And then she sets up. She sets up like Affie and her whole like family drama. So she does that very effectively as well. So everybody's first, not that they're not good at like their second wave stuff, because I dare say I like the second wave better than the first, but they were all, the first project they were given is like really where their strength is. And then they get the room to play.
Right. I love that. And I will say, I will second your, I don't know. I would say if you're wanting to get into it, I would start with the 3 books, Light of the Jedi, then go to Into the Dark, because Into the Dark just really, really sets up the Drengir so well. It's that. Then honestly, that was my favorite Star Wars book of all time for a while. I think I think Rising Storm might have bumped it a little. But Into the Dark is still one of my favorites. Reeth Silas forever, Geode forever, the Vessel Crew, all that. I love all that. But then, go Rising Storm. No, you're good. Rising Storm, my favorite
Star Wars book. Period.
You better.
Full stop.
Dude,
it's my favorite. It's my favorite one. Like, period.
But it's the least boring Star Wars book. Not that they're boring.
One more thing about Reading Order that I just thought of. And I want to impart to your audience, to the audience. The reason I am constantly saying read everything is because the reason I never got into Legends is because by the time I was interested in Legends, there was so much of it and it was all so interconnected, it became very overwhelming. Right. And now, like, we're seeing, like, light, not spoilers, but like hints and a very strong word of caution. Something set up in Light of the Jedi pays off in Out of the Shadows. So you would do well to read the young adult as well. Like, it pays off in a big way.
Oh, man.
I strongly encourage everybody to read Out of the Shadows.
I'm going to have to binge Light of the Jedi tonight. before it
You've
comes
read
out.
Light of the Jedi.
I have, but like I forgot. Like I need a refresher.
You're not like if you go right into Out of the Shadows, you're not gonna miss it.
Okay.
You're not gonna miss it. If you remember
Okay.
anything about Light of the Jedi, you're not gonna miss it.
Okay.
That's how big a thing it is.
I mean, I will say, our friend Alex Damon and Molly Damon, Star Wars Explained, they had a very good to get you ready for the second wave, like just a recap video, which I watched because I remembered it. It helped me refresh my memory and things like that. And so, so there is that out there if you guys are halfway through and whatever like that. But also, like Arezou said, I know Arzou's like squirming now. She's like, don't just watch a video. Go read the stuff. Seriously.
Because just do it before there's so much of it. It becomes hard to start.
I mean, it already, like, I got behind on the comics. Like, I started the comics, and then I fell behind. And once I got caught up, I mean, it really does. It's one of those things where you don't have to read everything. You can stick to the main story. But well, like what you're saying, it rewards you.
It's rewarding. Like, because it's a newer era, and there's fewer players running around. Like, I know it feels like there's a lot, but compared to like the mainline Star Wars comics, like there's a lot less people. Right. So like I don't feel underserved by not reading the mainline Star Wars comics all the time, or the Darth Vader comic or the Dr. Aphra comic, like all amazing comics. And I don't mean to knock them, but it's a lot to keep up with. So I don't feel like I'm missing a huge chunk of like the overall story if I choose to just read here and there. But like this, it's the same characters from the comics that are going into the books that are going back into the comics. So, and there's not a lot of it. So,
well, and right now this is all we have of those characters too. So when you fall in love with those characters, you are like, I'm pumping my fist. I'm going, yeah, when someone shows up in one of the books or something. It's like these books have gotten me cheering out loud and everything. And I mean, I actually had to, because I don't have anyone to talk to about the book usually, Rising Storm. I listened to Ken Knapsack and Joseph Scrimshaw's overview of it. And I haven't listened to their stuff in so long. But I love how they go through the books, because they really dive into the theme and everything that they can, the characters and things like that. But Joseph Scrimshaw was talking about how he was reading, and there was a part he comes to, and he went, yes! And like his wife comes in there and says, are you enjoying your book? And stuff, because he's like cheering and all that kind of stuff. He's like, yeah, it's just there's I don't know, not that people don't do that with other books and stuff. I mean, if you love something, that's what it is. But just that this is the most I think I've done it for a Star Wars series, honestly. Like, just the most that I've been like up in arms, ready to like cheer and everything. Like, there's a moment in Into the Dark with Geode that I was like pumping my fist, like hitting the top of my car, listening to it, like, yeah, like freaking out. And I'm sure I freaked everyone out around me and everything too. It is what it is. So.
It's Star. Like, I think the thing is, it's not to say that the other books don't have tension, because they do have tension within the story. Right. And they are excellent books. Do not get me wrong. But if I'm reading Master and Apprentice, I know that even though Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are having their problems right now, that 8 years from now, they're going to be so close that like Qui-Gon's death devastates Obi-Wan. So I know ultimately down the line, they're going to be okay. Or like Lost Stars, we can have Sienna being like dedicated to the Empire, but I know that Empire is going to fall. So I know something's going to happen to Sienna, and like what's going to happen. So there is that tension, but her cause has no tension, because I know her cause isn't going to survive. So because I sort of have that broad history. We don't know anything about this era. And like, even if all of them live long, happy, productive lives, they're still going to be dead by the time the prequels show up, purely because of the passage of time. So
that's the saddest thing about the whole thing, is like especially the human characters that are incredibly like enthralling, like some of the most enthralling Jedi we've had in years. Honestly. 100%. Honestly. Like, and I love how they brought they fleshed out like Kit Fisto and Kit
Fisto.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about I jumped to the Clone Wars. I love how they they fleshed out in the Clone Wars the prequel Jedi. Like
Right.
I was trying to think of the. I was trying to think
Where
of.
was he in Rising Storm?
Kit Fisto. Yeah, you don't remember that part where he like takes out one of the Nihil and smiles.
Oh yeah, he just shows up in a vector.
And then exactly. No. Sorry. My ADHD brain jumped somewhere else. But no, I was just trying to say, like, I love that they fleshed out like a lot of those Jedi that we saw in the background. But these still, like, I mean, they're good. But these Jedi in this era, there's just so much. I mean, and part of that is we're in their heads and stuff. We've been in their heads since day one. We've met them. But they're the most human Jedi I feel that we've ever met. And there's even a lot of
the non-human ones.
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's
still fairly
understandable
in a way that people Jedi aren't.
The whole Buryaga being empathetic, like having like empathy through the Force, like he can feel other people, like what they're feeling and everything. I love that as a Jedi power. I mean, anything that has to do with mental health or anything like that, or there's a lot of things that have helped me through not to get but through the rough time I've been through. I went through a divorce this past year. I've lost a couple of jobs and things like that, and just there are different things. Like there's something I think that Skier says I don't know if I put enough S's on that. Did I put enough S's on Skier? Yeah. Skier is fun to say. The Trandoshan Jedi, Skier, he said something I think it was to Emery.
Keep, wouldn't it?
It might have been to Keep, but this was in A Test of Courage. It was the end of Test of Courage. I didn't expect this to make me I didn't expect the end of that middle grade novel to make me cry, but he said something about, because remember Emery Emery touches the dark side. Yeah. I'm going to spoil that. Emery touches the dark side. And when he comes back, there are people who touch the dark side. They come back, and the way that the Jedi handle those people, those Jedi, is not how I feel they would handle them in the prequels. But there's something that Skier says, and I don't have A Test of Courage yet. I need to get it because this line made me cry. But he says the path, like Yoda makes it seem so like in Empire Strikes Back, like once you're on the path forever, it'll dominate your destiny, things like that. Whereas Skier says, you know what? You're on a journey and you're going to take a dark road sometimes, but there's always time to come back to the light. There's always it doesn't matter how bad you're messing up. There's always a chance to come back up. And that just really spoke to me. And everything. There's so many moments like that throughout this whole thing.
Makes me think though, Yoda's around right now. Yoda is around to see like Emery touching the dark side, and like Elzar touches the dark side, and like all of these people are like, and they're going, well, it's okay, we'll help you. So what is it that makes Yoda go from we'll help you to like canceling the therapy program?
It's something bad has to happen. And as we see in Rising Storm, tensions are starting to get pretty high with some things. I'm not gonna spoil who and what and whatever, because it's so good. You got to get to it. But it's so sad, because you see this era of Jedi being uplifting and encouraging to one another, and the most mentally stable Jedi we've ever had, honestly. Like, and then we get to the point where we're going to throw them into war, and they're just like, okay, I guess we'll go along with this and stuff just because, whereas these Jedi like question every move they make that has to be lethal. Yeah. Which, not that they don't in that, but it does make me, it does. You're right. It's so sad to think about Yoda.
Yeah. Well, because they're
being so broken.
At the start of Rising Storm, like when Stellan is demonstrating sparring, he's like, oh, we don't do this anymore. This is ceremonial because there's no threat. But
right.
The Republic is like sticking them front and center and being like, defend us. And no, we're not going to start a military. Meanwhile, there's this huge threat. So who's at the front line now? It's the Jedi. And who is not equipped to handle this? The Jedi.
The Jedi. So, yeah. It's not what they were ever meant to be at all. They're not. I mean, I don't know. There was so much cool stuff about, like, in Light of the Jedi, the entire opening, the whole the Great Disaster was so uplifting and encouraging to listen to. In fact, I read something Kevin Scott was talking about, I think in the panel, wasn't he? About how Light of the Jedi kind of came out at the right time because it was after we didn't know they were like, we didn't know there was going to be a pandemic and all that kind of stuff. You know, I think he had a quote where he was like, it really just was the time that people needed some optimism and things like that. It's almost like what A New Hope did for like the Vietnam era, like, honestly. And I think that's one thing, like, again, I said on Twitter, Light of the Jedi and all these books dropped like days, the week of the January 6th riot, not to get too far into that stuff.
Right.
The uprising that happened here in the States. And I remember it, like, I was having such a good time listening to that. I had to stop because of all that was going on and everything. It was just so, there was just a lot of darkness, things going on here. But I remember going back to it and being comforted and things like that. You know, how it was just, I don't know, it's just, there's so much to this era, and there's so much, like, I love that it started with the optimism, but now we're getting the Empire Strikes Back kind of darkness and everything. And I'm rambling
Darker
again.
middle chapter, right?
Darker middle chapter. Oh man. And we're just we're not even done with the first wave. Like, this is still the first
of
phase. The 3 parts, so, right? You can't see where's my hand? There it is.
Wave 3 is the end of phase 1. So wave 3 is what they announced at Comic-Con.
Right.
That's the end of phase 1. We don't know that phase 2 and 3 are also going to have 3 waves. They said that it could fluctuate. Although I do like the idea of a trilogy of trilogies, but
I mean, who wouldn't?
It's like poetry. It rhymes. But,
it is.
But yeah. So,
Ayo, there it is. Ding, ding, ding. She said it. She said the thing.
Sorry, the thing. Take a shot or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you guys are doing right now. I don't know if you're like. By the way, bye, Brian. You'll be listening. You'll be listening back to this, and we'll just want to say, you suck. I'm just kidding. We love you. We love you so much.
No,
I
do not condone this.
Brian. No, we don't condone that. I'm sorry. It was a joke that went horribly wrong. What have I done? I just need some. I need some High Republic Jedi to help me forgive myself and move on. Okay. So, Arezou, if you're ready for it, I think it might be time to bring in some people into the chat. From the chat.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Hold on. I'm going to copy this to the clipboard. It's copied. I'm going to put it in the thing. I'm making it more exciting than it is.
Drum roll.
Here we go. Guys, join us. Join us from the chat, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening from, whatever. Join us. But real quick, let's go ahead and play that wonderful live chat call-in thing. Here's the song again. We already have. Oh, that song. People, you know what my favorite part of doing the show is?
The song?
And I think I've said this before. Well, just seeing people go.
Oh yeah, me.
I didn't write it. Like, it's not just you. A lot of people do it. Like there was one time, like the end of the show after we have callers in, at the bottom row is just all people going, yeah, like jiving to this, and I love it. I didn't write it. It's very canned music, but it's very good canned music. So.
Fun.
I don't know how I'll ever replace it if I ever want to monetize. Well, I guess I am monetized. Anyway, I'm going to bring our first caller on. It could be, I don't know. We got a couple in the chat there. Come on in. Don't be shy. But I'm going to bring in the one and only Bupenheim. How you doing, girl?
We have to quit meeting like this, Jerry. It happens every week.
You're literally the first person every week.
Like, just using your show to meet new people.
Well, you are using, you cut out a little bit there, but I think I got the gist. You are just using my show to meet new people, hence meeting Arezou, who is one of the best people I think you could possibly meet. on Star Wars Twitter, frankly, unless you're on her bad side. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't think Arezou has a bad side.
No, I don't think so either.
I have a grumpy side, but if I get grumpy, I'll just mute you. So
That's
that either of you are muted. I just don't unleash my grumpy side. I just
It's okay if you need to mute us too, as long as we can stay friends. You can mute away. You can mute
Exactly.
If I mute, it's with good reason. It's like toxicity gets muted, if not outright blocked.
And you know what? That's the best thing to do, honestly. I've made it a habit to not argue with people on the internet.
No,
it's
not. If I start, I've already lost. So,
Boop, you guys like at Nerd Herder just put out like a meme, right? Didn't you? Were you the first ones to put out that meme of what was it like? It was the guy from Loki. I don't know if you saw that, Arezou. The guy from Loki who got brought in at the same time as Loki at the first episode. And when he's like saying, he didn't give me a ticket, whatever, and he gets like pruned.
Oh, yeah, and he was saying something about like
Raise Mary Sue and blah, 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 blah. And then like, Brilliant.
Yeah, do yourself a favor and do not go through the replies on that tweet, because it is special.
Maybe do if you're looking for some new blocks. If you're looking for some new blocks.
That's what we do, is we make those tweets. The
best way to do it.
And then just block.
Exactly. Like, people find us, and I don't know how. Just, where did you come from, sir, or madam, or friend?
It might get put under, like, the topics thing that just pops up on people's timelines.
That might be it.
I don't know what I posted the other day. It was something very casual. It was like a general opinion about like the Kenobi series or something. And I had a lot of men I don't know trying to explain Obi-Wan Kenobi to me.
They just show up. I don't...
Like, where did you come from?
Thank you, random man. Your opinion is noted.
Look, I have, in the past, I have done it, not intentionally meaning to, like, back when very stupid youth. I'm not even going to apologize for the dickwads because it's not me and everything. But I don't get why people feel like they have to like, oh, here's a girl who likes the thing. I'm going to explain this to her.
No, I get it,
bro.
It's the worst.
Why can't you just have a freaking conversation with this person who likes the same thing as you?
My favorite
like talking down to them.
When they just say no, that's not like it was an opinion, and they're like, no, that sounds boring. I'm like, thank you.
Sure.
Why even waste your? It's like putting a negative review. It's like going out of your way to make a negative review of like a podcast or something. Like put like 1 star and then write a review. It's like, okay, Karen, are
go
you
home,
okay?
Keith.
Yeah, go have you get really bitchy when you have a Snickers when you're hungry. Come on, have a Snickers. Come on.
Just do that in celebration. Start handing out Snickers.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Oh my god, that might actually. We might do like a thing like if we ever do like Bombadcast meetups, which it'll be like five crazy people every time.
But the best people.
But just like it'll be the best people. So we'll just carry like 5 Snickers every time and everything. Like here, hand these to people who hand these to Star Wars Theory. He's walking around here somewhere.
There you go.
I ran into him in Chicago. I didn't say anything to him, but I saw. I know.
With your fist?
I don't think I would have. Yeah. Boom. No. I walked. Literally, I was as close to him as like this lamp is to me. He was some dude was like thanking him for his Star Wars channel and stuff, and like I just listened for a second, and I was like, I looked and I go, that's fucking Star Wars theory right there. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, you took a minute, you vomited, and then you walked away.
I'm going to keep going. I think that I don't know if that was my first day when I was alone before I started hanging out with my lovely boy Scotty.
Before the magic happened.
That is where
your origin
that day
story is like so sweet.
It's precious.
It's the best. We have the best. Our origin story. That's the best way it's been put. We have such a great engagement story. Yeah, it's so
engagement story.
Yeah.
Yep. Your love language is Star Wars, and it's beautiful.
It's amazing. What I mean, and we even, it's fun to disagree with the man too. I'll say not to just gush on Scotty for a second. I love how I will say that no one has more molten hot takes than Scotty Jero on Twitter, and I will tell you, a lot of it is very it's very wrestling. It's very wrestling in his mind, where he's like, I'm going to start something and we're going to do, it's because it's content, whatever. But that's enough. Scotty's ears are going to be burning. So
Scotty Jero, the Bayou Boy.
Look, when I accidentally got involved in that Thrawn Martian thing, I'm like, I feel like my parents are fighting. Like,
I loved you were like, Mom, pick me up. I'm scared. He came at me hard, and I mean, I use a little bit of real anger because I mean, he digs, and I mean, I dug too. Like we both like dig, but that's the thing is like later on we were texting like, dude, this is so freaking hilarious stuff.
I couldn't tell if you were actually mad. I'm like, are we witnessing the downfall of Bombadcast right now?
We fall over the Marchion Thrawn controversy.
The whole thing just gone.
It was Edward versus Jacob all over again.
It so is. It's freaking Twilight again.
Which that's starting again, by the way.
Because they're all on Team Edward now.
Exactly. I was Team Edward for a long time. I swapped to Team Jacob when Eclipse came out.
Oh,
did I?
Are you there, Boop?
I think I got out for a minute. Hang on.
We can hear you. You're just taking pictures.
Sick. There. All right. But yeah, I swapped to Team Jacob briefly. Now I've seen the light. I'm back to Team Edward. And honestly, they're all kind of abusive, so it doesn't really matter.
Arezou, you look like you have thoughts on that. I'm not a big Twilight.
I was like Team Jacob forever, and then as an adult, I'm like, it doesn't matter what team I am, because Bella, from the beginning, is very clearly Team Edward, so it doesn't matter what I think, so Team Edward it is.
She's very, and I mean, I watched most of those films they came out while I was working at a movie theater, and between that and then watching them with my ex, I was like, she's gonna be with Edward. The whole thing is just her and Edward. It's like I don't understand the Team Jacob thing as well.
It was a fan preference, but the thing is, Bella's preference was always very clear.
Yes.
Right.
So, I will say about Twilight, if you had the chance to see Breaking Dawn Part 2 in theaters, I don't think any experience will ever rival that one.
I've heard about it. I've never seen it.
You haven't? Okay. The climax of this movie, the book has no climax. Everybody gathers at the house and they're like, this is a bad idea. And they're like, you're right. Bye. And they leave. And that's it. But the climax of the movie is this huge vampire on vampire brawl where most of the main characters end up dead. And it turns out it was all a dream. But just listening to the screams before people realized it was a dream was an unparalleled experience.
I think I wasn't into at that time, dumb college guy, I was like, I don't want to, and I worked at the movie theater, and so I had to deal with the very still sexually active older women, of course, who were talking about these. Hey, it's okay. They could like what they like. These guys were over 18, but it was fun. Like at the time, I was a little like, I mean. To hear them talking about like they're the age of your son, ma'am. Like, just watch out. I don't know. At the time I was very like, yucking of the but I unfortunately ruined it all for myself because I wouldn't watch the thing and I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I was like, what? And then it's like I think it was like they were like it was like a vision, right? Like, that's going to be a bad idea.
Like, this is what will happen if we fight, is that everybody will end up dead. Yeah. But, oh my God, having my friend sit next to me just repeatedly smacking me on the arm, yelling, why didn't you tell me? Because I'd seen it once already. And she was so mad. And she kept hitting me. And then it turns out it was all a vision. And she's like, oh. I'm like, yeah. Like, why would I tell you?
They're not that edgy.
It's fine.
It's great. I was, I ruined it for myself because I worked at the movie theater and there were other things out that summer and I was just, you walk in, you watch it. It's okay, there's a cool fight scene in there and I was like, Yeah, I don't know what's going on though. So, but
I didn't mean to take that down Twilight Road. But.
No, hey, Twilight Road is a welcome road. I know of it. That is all I know. So anyway,
I will say Team Martian is superior to Team Edward or Team Jacob.
Team Marcion, whatever you want to say, whoever. It's okay.
Eye of the Nile.
Eye of the Nile. There you go. I like it. I like it. You know,
I promise I'm going to read the books at some point.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, Boop, do you have anything you wanted to say to us about that, or any questions, or did you just want to say, stop pressuring me? I don't get a personal pan pizza if I do this. Leave me alone.
Well, I own one of the books. I'm not sure which one it is, but I bought it at work.
It's a good start.
And it's just been sitting on my shelf, so I think it's Into the Dark. I think.
Oh, okay.
So, there we go. I just need to, get off my tuchus and read. Or read on my tuchus. Either way.
I was going to say, get on your tuchus and read. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you might be by the end of some of these things, but, like pacing or whatever. But, hey, it's fine. It is what it is. So, I think we lost you again. I think you're back.
There we go.
Hey!
My Wi-Fi does not like me tonight. Sorry about that.
I'm there. You're good. It used to be me. That's why I bought this thing. Be strong, I whispered to my Wi-Fi, because it was like a running joke on whenever we were on Beyond the Blast Doors. Jerry's Wi-Fi sucks. But maybe I'll send it to you now. We'll see. You
I might need it.
You might need the good luck charm. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. Do you have anything you want to bring up? Anything you want to talk about? You want to ask Arezou about, maybe?
Not really. Like I said, I'm having fun meeting people and just having nice conversations. I like Arezou, and I want to be friends with her.
Let's be friends.
Let's be friends. There
guys,
we go.
It just happened right here. It just happened right here, and I feel so honored. Oh man, listen, I don't know. I am so happy that you are one of our first guests always to come on and everything. Like whenever we open it up, it's always good. And I'm glad you got a new friend with Arezou. But look, listen, Arezou is one of the nicest people on the internet. And so she's a good friend to have. That's just where I'm going with that. Oh,
There we go.
It's because you haven't seen my drafts folder.
Oh, no.
Oh my.
You typed and then they get deleted. I'm like, no, that's a rude.
Is it a threat or an invitation? What is that? No, I don't understand.
You don't want to see the drafts folder.
A lot of Raylo lives for drafts folders. Let's be real.
I think so. Boop, aren't you technically paid to read at Barnes & Noble? Sorry.
I'm paid to make other people read. Legitimately.
I would just be that should be a job at Barnes & Noble, just to sit in one of those nice chairs with one of their coffees. That it's a Starbucks, but we're not going to say Starbucks, right?
Exactly. It's a Barnes & Noble cafe.
Right. I think that should be your job, and I think that should be a job at those, so that you can sit there, and that's how you'll get
loudly
paid.
About how good the book is.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa!
Marky and Rowe.
Can you believe that?
How big around is his chest? Whoa!
Is that Henry Cavill? What the heck?
Ours is I don't know. Pretty big, actually. I don't know. I don't know if he's wider than Adam or not, but we'll see. Anyway.
He's a white boy.
He is.
That's what someone, we had Peter Townley, who used to host the Star Wars show back in the day on the Bombay Cast, and he's been in my mentions ever since. But I mentioned something about I think it was on my post about this episode. Yeah, because he goes, he's just not wide enough, and that needs to be addressed.
Who's not wide? Adam's not wide enough.
Adam's not wide enough in those ads. He's like, that needs to be addressed. He needs to be widened.
You know how you get Adam to be wide enough again? And
how is that?
High-waisted pants?
Star Wars Episode 9.5.
Episode 10.
You bring Ben Solo back, and you got to get him back in Ben Solo shape. And then he's wide enough again.
Is there a training montage in this one?
A World Between Worlds training montage. I know that's not how it works. Don't come at me.
I would love that, honestly. Well, listen, you're in good company here because I would love for the continuation of the sequel. I would love the sequel era to continue.
Absolutely.
And I would even love like a Disney Plus show or something that is like Rey and them and maybe searching for Ben. Bring him in.
Yes. Heck yes.
I'm just saying. I'm not just saying that because you're here. I actually do want that. So, just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying. I got yelled at on Bombadcast for it in the chat, but it's fine. It's whatever.
By who? They were wrong. Let me at them. I'll fight them.
By ignorant people. Listen, man. Ben Solo has so much more of a story to tell.
I think the majority of them were Scotty students who are like 6th graders, and so it's fine. It's fine.
I'm gonna tell never Scotty, I'm gonna go like guest lecture in his class. It's just a bunch of Ben Solo slides. It's okay. You're all gonna listen. There will be a test. And
take some notes
towards your science grade.
Oh man. Oh, Michael from All Remaining Systems just made it in. Oh, listen, Michael, thank you for joining up. Now, we are coming to a close there. I don't know if does anyone in the chat do we have any other callers that want to come in? Because right now it's just our lovely Boopenheim. But let's see here. Hold on. Let me get this here. Let's see. I'm going to put it out one more time. And if no one, this is an ultimatum. If no one joins in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to nicely kick Boop out to watch the show from here. Don't make that face. And then I'm going to say goodbye to Arezou and we'll do whatever we want to do because that's just it's Monday night, you know. That's just how it goes. And I've kept Arezou and Boop and all of you guys for a long enough time already. So I would keep you forever, but we all have lives to lead, unfortunately.
I got books to sell, and apparently High Republic to read. So
yes,
I
gotta go fill Jeff Bezos's pockets even more. So he doesn't have to pay taxes. So it's fine. It's whatever. What we got? Man, wait. Nick is what's up with all these people showing up at the last minute? It's okay. We're glad. It's good to see go watch the rewind and stuff. We do have. If you want to come in, I'm gonna let one more person come in. Okay. I'm gonna let one more person come in and
come on, Nick. You know you want
to. Come on, Nick or Michael, somebody. Don't be scared.
I'll just start talking about Ben Solo again.
Just do it. Honestly, I think we have some Ben Solo stands in the chat. Honestly, I think Michael. Michael. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're a big Ben Solo stan, correct, sir? Why don't we just ask him ourselves? What's up, buddy?
How do you do, fellow kids?
How was work? I came in fresh off of a shift into this, so I'm doing great. I'm fresh-faced. How's Michael doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I just got back from work literally like 15 minutes ago. Just took a shower, got out, saw y'all were on. Figured I'd jump in and say hello. No idea what we've even been talking about this whole time.
The High Republic, mostly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. I love the High Republic.
I was gonna say, like you actually agreed with my controversial tweet that made Scotty mad at me, the Thrawn bro, as I like to call him. Whereas, you know, Marchion might be greater than Thrawn in some respects. In my humble opinion, Marchion is kind of like for book introduced protagonists. Marchion's kind of unseated Thrawn for me. So
yeah, I think I agree with that. I've read your tweet and I was wanting to be angry and I'm like, no, but I kind of agree with it though.
He's so interesting. He's so interesting, and he's hot to boot. So what's not to love?
He ticks all the boxes.
He ticks all the boxes. I mean, Thrawn's got like a daddy thing, right? Doesn't he? Like, is he like he's old and stuff?
I haven't read the new books, so I don't know about
There's no daddy thing in the new books.
No, he's got Thrawn.
Thrawn. Did I miss it? I may have missed it.
I don't know. I might have missed something too. But Thrawn is going to be played in live action apparently by Lars Mikkelsen, right? Like that's the rumor, correct? Boop left.
I believe so, but I've yet to hear any official things on that, so I'm always skeptical to believe it.
I don't know what you're wincing about, Rez, but it's okay, buddy. It'll be fine.
I think this is about the Martian is better than Thrawn thing.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, that's what opinions are for.
I'm back.
Hey, Boop.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Nice to have you. Michael, did you have anything that you said? Well, did you have anything on your mind that you wanted to ask the panel before you, or anything you wanted to say? Did you just want to pop in and say you love us?
Well, I did want to pop in and say I love you, but I was just gonna throw
As
one
one
thing. One thing. Throw my hat in the ring.
Okay.
I was on a 13-hour road trip yesterday, and spent 9 hours of it re-listening to Light of the Jedi, and man, that has just really solidified just how good the High Republic is to me.
I need to listen to it again. It's like the opening of Light of the Jedi, the whole great disaster at Hetzel.
It's a lot better once I know who all the characters are, and I have a better time keeping them straight.
Agreed. Much easier to keep straight.
Oh, boop. Boop, 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 boop.
I know.
Oh, man.
I know. I need to get in there.
You'll enjoy
okay.
it. I know you will enjoy it. I know
your new best friend.
Yes,
your new best
I do love sci-fi.
But I know that you will enjoy it.
There we go. Michael, you're off the list. It's all Arezou now.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay, Nick. I'm not sure what computer. I'm not computer adjacent. I think you said you were computer adjacent, and I was like, why does that mean? Are you in like a library or something? I don't know. I didn't understand what you meant by that, but that's okay, Nick. We'll get you next time. He's probably probably proud daddy at another performance of his daughter's play. I don't know if they're still doing that, Nick, or whatever. But this man is all about the extracurricular activities with his girls. Love it. Love to see it. But anyway, guys, listen. This has been great. This has been fun. I'm gonna politely push you two at the bottom out. Thank you for Michael. I'm glad that you got to come in at the end of your shift and everything.
Me too. This has been a blast.
I'm really glad. And Boop, go read that book at work. You know, I mean, come on. Like, what are they paying you for? You know, just to
Not
tell
much.
other people to read. You got it. Like you need to pitch it to them. You need to say, look, you're gonna have me tell people to read when they don't see me reading in the store for at least 5 hours. I mean, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? That's what it's got to be. But anyway, love you guys. We'll see you maybe after this ends, but I'm going to push you out. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Arezou, thank you so much for being so flexible, for coming on so late, and when the High Republic is involved, I wasn't going to stop it. Like, if you were still up for talking, I was going to do it 100%. I need more High Republic peeps in my life to just like gush about it. And I'm glad that this is, I think, my first time gushing about it where I can actually like gush with someone on camera. I mean, me and Scotty, I think, did for a little bit and stuff, but then now we get the professional wrestling shit. It's fine. It's whatever. But anyway, Arezou, why don't you go ahead and tell all the good people where they can find all your wonderful stuff that you do. You do so much. Sure. You're doing so much right now. So you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Arezou Amin. You can find me at my own site, arezouD2.com, which is all Star Wars book reviews. So right now it's the High Republic / novelizations and the Shakespeare stuff, like kind of jump back and forth. Otherwise, you can find me at the Geeky Waffle. I do recaps and other posts on the site. I co-host the Geeky Waffle and Straight Outta Home Video, but I host Space Waffles, which is our Star Wars focused podcast on the network. So we just had a new episode today about Anakin and Asajj, the non-romantic dyad of the prequel trilogy. So, oh my gosh! Okay,
yeah, we really go into it, and then it's with Candace and our friend Katrina Dennis, who hosts another show on our network. And we were so into it that Katrina and I texted each other the next day and said, "I have more to say." So we did a second episode on it, which will be out
awesome.
next week. So that's me. That's where I'm at.
Hey, go check it out. Go check out Space Waffles. Go check out the Geeky Waffle. Check it all out, guys. Seriously, there's a lot of good stuff going on over there. I'm not just saying that because I've been on there, but I love the Geeky Waffle, all of the things you guys do. I haven't talked to my brother-in-law in a while, but I remember I told you about my brother-in-law when he was like, I really like their breakdown of, was it like Falcon and Winter Soldier at the time,
so.
or all that? He's been loving y'all's breakdowns of the Marvel stuff, and so I just, on behalf of my brother-in-law and me, I'm glad that you guys are doing what you're doing. So,
thank you.
You're welcome. But guys, thank you so much. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up late and sticking with us. And you know what? To take us out, I'm gonna play a little bit of the sultry sounds of "What If There Was No Pizza." Longest intro of all time. You're muted, Arezou. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Imagine there's no pizza.
That's enough. That's enough. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Yes. We have been Jerry the Cannon Junkie and Arezou Amin. Guys, have a wonderful night. We'll see you next Monday.